Hello and welcome to part 4 on how to write a narrative. I've already done some lesson videos on what is a narrative, how to plan for a narrative, and how to write an introduction for a narrative. Today, we're going to be looking at how to write a conclusion for a narrative. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to bring up that little graph again that we looked at earlier, and we can see that we've already had the problem, which is the peak of the story, and that the resolution and conclusion is where we're resolving the problem and everything's getting better again. All right, when we are doing our conclusion, we need to remember that it is wrapping up the story. So we're bringing everything together to a final ending. We don't want to have any loose ends. So here are some things that we need to remember when we are writing our conclusion. So we need to remember it is the ending to the story. The resolution to the problem. We need to think about what the problem was and how we can fix the problem. Okay, so I'm going to be using the planning bullet points that I did in part 2 of this little series, and that's going to help me write my conclusion. So let's have a little reminder of what I did for my planning. I had to write about what the problem was, and that was the car got stuck in the sand and we had to be back home soon. Someone has an idea to put the bodyboard under the back tire. The characters try and fix the problem by everyone pushing the car. The characters fix the problem by teamwork. And I'm going to talk about the characters' feelings, which is joy because they know that they're not going to get in trouble. Okay, so that was my planning, and now I need to turn those bullet points into sentences to create a big paragraph. And I always need to remember to include these things when I'm writing the paragraph. I need to have exciting sentence starters, interesting vocabulary, I need to include the senses, and I need to engage the reader. Okay, so let's take a good look at how I turned those bullet points into sentences and turned that into a paragraph. So I'm going to read that to you, and then afterwards we can see if we can spot the different things that I included in my conclusion. So here's my resolution and conclusion. What we needed was a plan. Everyone was freaking out and no one was thinking logically. That tends to happen when you only have a short time to get home and everyone will be in trouble soon. The thought came to me as I was about to yell at my friend to stop hitting his bodyboard on the ground. That was it! We could wedge the bodyboard under the back tire and use that to get some friction. I told everyone my plan and we all kicked into action. My friend hopped into the driver's seat and put the car into gear. My 2 strongest friends shoved the bodyboard under the tire and the rest of us found a spot to lean against the car. 3, 2, 1, push! We pushed with all our might. Sand was flicking everywhere as the tires spun in the same spot. We thought hope was gone until suddenly the car jolted forward, leaving 4 of us face planted in the sand. The whole drive home was filled with silence. We were tired, covered in sand, but full of joy that our parents weren't going to tell us off. Alright, so that was my example of a conclusion. On the next slide, you can pause the video so you can have a look at all the different things I included. I've highlighted them so you can see which one means which. Alright, and that is part 4 on our little series on how to write a narrative. So make sure you go and watch all the other videos if you haven't watched them yet, because if you watch them all in order, you'll end up with a wonderful narrative. I wish I could read them. If you need, I've got a link down below for my whole full example of my narrative, and you can see it, because in each video I wrote 1 paragraph at a time, and that way you can see it all together. Alright, make sure you include all the criteria that we have talked about to have your very best narrative. Good luck, have fun, and I'll see you very soon.